With Red Dead Redemption 2 being a prequel, we're going to see a lot of differences within the world and atmosphere. For one, civilization will have not come to the West yet, which will be an element that plays out through the story. The government will not have the power, men like Dutch van der Linde and Arthur Morgan will be in control. The real question is, who is going to be the antagonist and protagonist of this tale? Today we are going to be breaking down the characters that we know of thus far. But before we dive into all of this, if you have not heard, I am doing a giveaway for Red Dead Redemption 2. All you have to do is check the link in the description to enter and just be an active subscriber. Also make sure to get geared up for this upcoming Western by getting the brand new House Marston or King of the West t-shirts. If you're interested in getting these Red Dead themed t-shirts or any of the other designs, there will be a link in the description as well. There are many theories going around in which a lot of people are convinced they know how Rockstar will start and finish the story of Red Dead Redemption 2, but I feel it's way too simple, and this will be a topic I'll take head on very soon. But I mention this because of how people are interpreting our introduction to Arthur Morgan and the various other characters. For example, this is not Abigail Marston or Bonnie McFarlane, and this is not young John Marston. These are just brand new characters. Sure, we may have the return of a few notable individuals from Red Dead Redemption, but with Rockstar's reputation with bringing back characters, it will be very minimal. Although again, this is their first prequel story, so things are changing. I've heard many people describing Arthur Morgan as Grand Theft Auto V's Trevor but in the Wild West, and that he's a stale and boring protagonist that will not compare to the likes of John Marston. But I have a very different take on him. To me, he looks like a leader, someone that's been living this lifestyle for a long time, and also someone that will do whatever is needed to get the job done. In our second trailer, we saw a man that was on the run, presumably the Pinkertons that are after him and his crew. We also got a taste of his ruthless attitude and oddly similar appearances to a real-life famous outlaw Jesse James. But the one thing we did not see was Arthur Morgan's other side, which was showcased in one line of dialogue in our initial teaser trailer.
Listen to me. When the time comes, you gotta run and don't look back. This is over.
Arthur Morgan is no John Marston, but I think that is a good thing and something that we will learn once we pick up our controllers and get brought into the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time. This is once again a tale of redemption, and the question is, what will Arthur Morgan's be? The notorious gang leader Dutch van der Linde is back, a little bit younger, and he looks like he has all the power within West Elizabeth, which is where the gang ruled, striking a pose very similar to a Don Vito Corleone from The Godfather. Dutch was described by John Marston as someone who believed that his gang could make a difference in the world, rob from the rich and give to the poor, but eventually over time Dutch's ideologies became a thing of the past as he became the worst thing humanity offered, a madman masking his pain with meaningless violence and a hatred for the world that he now lived in. The question is, which Dutch are we going to be seeing? The one that believed he was a Robin Hood for the people, the man that served as a father figure to John Marston, teaching him how to shoot, hunt, gather, read, and how to survive in the world? Or two, are we going to see this infamous gang leader get dethroned and watch his madness unfold until the famous botched robbery of 1906 where he left John Marston for dead after being shot? And actually there may be a third option. Are we maybe going to be able to see how all of this unfolds? But now to the most notable member of Dutch's gang that we have yet to see aside from the cover of the game is John Marston. I won't be putting a tinfoil hat on as some have because we have not seen John Marston yet. This isn't him, and this isn't him. So, Michael, what does that mean? John isn't going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2? No, of course he is, and I almost wish for it to be a surprise that we find out in-game, but he will be revealed with a bang, in a future trailer or maybe an image that shows off the release date. John Marston is a man that talks about his past with regret because he didn't realize the bad that his gang was doing. Eventually, well, presumably with the events leading to the failed robbery of 1906, he does. John Marston is going to be a different man within this prequel, someone who is extremely loyal to Dutch van der Linde, and someone who will do a lot of things that he would disapprove of years later. Even within the final moments of Dutch's life when John's talking to him, in Red Dead Redemption they still hold a great bond together, only broken because of Edgar Ross and the government threatening John's family. Another key member of Dutch van der Linde's gang returning is Bill Williamson. Unlike Dutch and John, Bill never seemed as being a respectable individual. He was just a ruthless criminal who was a coward at heart, also a little bit less educated than both of them. We never get a sense of the relationship that Bill and John had in their past based on the dialogue within Red Dead Redemption. It is said that they considered each other brothers when they were in the gang together. so we can assume that we may be able to see a more likable Bill Williamson in this prequel. Although when I mean likable, I more or less mean that Dutch van der Linde and John Marston and maybe even Javier Escuela will all get along, but the actions they may commit will be of a sinister nature. Next is what I'm considering the enemy in Red Dead Redemption 2, the Pinkertons.
I don't like the Pinkertons. They're muscle for the bosses, as if the bosses ain't got enough edge.
So you'd side with me on principle?
Now I'll finish my fucking sentence.
Excuse me.
I don't like the Pinkertons.
That scene coming from Deadwood, a great HBO TV show showcasing the Wild West back then in 1876, deserved much more than just 3 seasons. But getting back on topic, with us taking the role of an outlaw and working with the van der Linde gang, we probably won't be focusing on taking out other gangs like within Red Dead Redemption, but fighting authority. And with Red Dead Redemption 2 taking place in the past, the Bureau of Investigations, which Edgar Ross ran, will not be around yet. So that leaves either the US Army or the Pinkerton Detective Agency, which was the largest private law enforcement organization in the world at the height of its power. The Pinkertons in real life were also hired in tracking down outlaws like Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch, who is said to be the inspiration behind Dutch van der Linde's gang, and also Jesse James, who may possibly be the inspiration behind Arthur Morgan, that it seems like Rockstar Games is really hinting at. Ultimately, we will see Pinkerton agents after our characters, and you have to imagine that these agents will serve as the antagonists.
We got lawmen in 3 different states after us. They chased us from the west, they chased us over the mountains.
Other than these 4 individuals and the Pinkertons, a lot is up in the air right now. With Red Dead Redemption 2's leaked map all but confirmed, we could see Landon Ricketts in his prime potentially when he is involved in the Blackwater Massacre of 1899. Javier Escuela and Abigail Marston, both key members of Dutch's gang, have yet to be seen, but based on their importance, we have to expect that they will be connected to the story of Red Dead Redemption 2, possibly giving us a better look of Abigail as a young mother to Jack Marston and the Mexican revolutionist that was Javier Escuela. Red Dead Redemption 2 will feature many new characters, one of which will be this blonde outlaw who has an appearance similar to Red Dead Revolver's Annie Stokes and Red Dead Redemption's Bonnie McFarlane. She also appears to have loyalty to only Arthur Morgan, and their relationship could be a big part of Red Dead Redemption 2's story. We also have this Native American character that joins Arthur on a mission. Still, we know very little about his role, and we've seen 2 scenes thus far teasing at Native involvement in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's very likely that we could see this individual's actual tribe and maybe the problems that they face against the US Army, a plot that could be likened to Red Dead Redemption's Mexican Revolution that John Marston got dragged into. Again, these are just the characters that we know of thus far. Through our first and second trailer, we clearly have Arthur Morgan working with other unknown gang members, and over time we will get a better idea of with whom he will be associated with other than just Dutch's gang. Red Dead Redemption 2 still has many questions, mainly surrounded around our cast of characters, questions that will not be answered until we get our hands on the game. But hopefully today I shed a little better light on some of the main characters of this upcoming game. Anyway gang, thank you for watching. Make sure to smack that like button if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and let me know down in the comment section below some of your thoughts on the characters of this upcoming game. Also consider subscribing to stay up to date on everything Red Dead Redemption 2, and remember, outlaws to the end.